This is a true story that gave me chills. For the last few weeks, I've noticed a weird thing about my dreams. Though they varied, there's one thing that connected them all. A doll. It was an old fabric doll with buttons for eyes and a huge stitched smile. Her legs were too short and her arms too long, but that's the charm of old dolls. She would also have long red hair gathered in ponytails and a green dress. She looked kinda creepy. She would always be sitting on a shelf, be hidden between the toys or played with by kids. She didn't miss any of my dreams. She was not a main character. She was actually pretty good at hiding. I also noticed more and more incidents with sleep paralysis. Always in the morning, I would wake up unable to move, and she would always be sitting on my bookshelf. Last night, I had an extremely unpleasant dream, and I woke up in the middle of the night. Struggling to sleep, I grabbed my sketchbook and I drew that doll. Weirdly, just as I finished, I felt an irresistible urge to sleep. I fell asleep with the pencil in my hand. In the morning, I showed the drawing to my mom. She inhaled sharply, so I looked at her. Her face became pale as paper. I asked her what happened. She ignored me, mumbling that it's impossible, and she saw that doll burning. I sat her down and gave her some tea. When she finally calmed down, she started to explain. Apparently, when she was around 7, she got a doll for Christmas. She was at first very happy, and it quickly became her favorite doll. She called her Kungunda, a Polish name, and carried her everywhere. One day, my mom left the doll on a train. She was obviously heartbroken and couldn't move on, but in a few days, the doll mysteriously appeared back on her shelf. My grandparents and all the family didn't know how. My mom, as a kid she was, believed the doll came back by her own, and while crazy, that was the only reasonable way. The family didn't do it, and it couldn't have been done by a burglar, because why would he break in just to give back a doll? Also, there were no signs of breaking in. It was the same doll. She had been sewn by my grandpa and had my mom's name on her leg under her skirt. My mom and the family quickly stopped thinking about that. A few weeks after, the doll started acting weirdly. She would often disappear for a few days, but she always would be found on the shelf. My mom had that doll for a really long time. She claimed that she had her when she was pregnant with me, but she doesn't have any photos. That's when the weird thing happened. I always knew that I was born premature, but Mom never told me that she almost lost me in the second trimester. She said she was sleeping and woke up in a puddle of blood. They obviously rushed to the hospital. When everything calmed down and they realized I'm okay, my dad asked my mom why did she sleep with Kungunda. She said she doesn't know what he's talking about. Apparently, he noticed the doll next to her when he picked her up. When they came back home, the doll was sitting on her shelf, but she had a little stain of blood on the back of her dress. Mom thought enough was enough. She decided to throw the doll in the fire. The doll burned, and Mom forgot for 16 years. Until now. Kungunda decided to come back.